Hi, welcome to my channel. My name is Michael Hansen, and this is Farming Simulator 17, which I will henceforth call FS17 because it is shorter, it is easier, and you know all that stuff. So right now we are at the map called County Line. If you watched my video, the first video, I think it is, yeah, I'm pretty sure it is, from Snettertons farm, you would have heard that I have tinkled a little bit with another map. This is that map, County Line. So I reached out to Stevie, who made Snettertons, because I really liked a lot of stuff from his farm, and asked him whether I was allowed to use some of his stuff on this map, and he agreed. I was allowed to do that. So for now, this map is solely a personal map for me that I can play on. But I would say that if there is interest for this map, I will definitely try to reach out to the creators of the map and ask them whether I'm allowed to to distribute it around freely. Let me show you some of the changes that I've made. Let's start here. So one of the things that I really liked about Stevie's map was this area where you could store some of your stuff. You can see I have some seeds here, and I have some fertilizer, and I have also a little bit of liquid fertilizer, but no manure, no digestate. And as also with Stevie's map, it is in here. Let's just go in here. Let's run. There's also a header. We have the tanks for storing it. So that's one of the changes that I made. I added these tanks here. Also, I'm not sure, I can't remember whether I added these tanks here as default, but obviously you can download these and use them yourself. But yeah, I'm pretty sure that that's not part of my my modification, my mod. Alright, so let's take a look. I've also added this, it's a little choppy here. I've also added this diesel tank here. Also, courtesy of Stevie, you might recognize this tank here from his at least from his Snettertons farm. There's the harvester. I've not added that. And let's continue. So these are two of the changes that I made. I added a diesel tank to this map, and these tanks here for storing your seeds and so on and so on. So you probably saw it when I ran past the silo here. But as you can see, I have also added this billboard, again, one of Stevie's creations. And fortunately we have some, no, we don't have any sugar beets. Alright. But yeah, let's continue, and you can obviously, you can store whatever you like to store in here. These lamps here, I think I've added them. I can't remember whether I added them as part of the map. I think I did. But that remains to be seen when I distribute it. Alright, so one of the things I talked about on the Snettertons farm, as you can see, a lot of this stuff here is directly from Stevie's map. We have here the potato washer, we have here the potato steamer. Over here we have the silo. Yeah, there's not supposed to be grass here, but it is because I created this save game before I actually made any before I made the modifications to the map. So that is why this grass has been removed in the map, so if you start a fresh save game, you'll not get that. But here's a silage silo. As you can see, if I walk over to the screen here, you can see that you can put in chaff, grass, or straw. Straw is not supposed to be part of it in reality, but I added it because, well, you know, you get a lot of straw. So you can make silage here. So in Stevie's Snettertons farm, you have these two. You only have one seed master. So you have two seed masters, but I have only added one. As you can see, I have 60,000 seeds here, and a little bit of water and no seeds, but a little bit of liquid fertilizer. And here's one of the other modifications to the modifications that I made. So this is the beet pulp machine. You put in water, I think it is, and then you get out beet pulp. So since here in Denmark we do a lot of beet pulpy, we do a lot of sugar beets, at least in some parts of Denmark. And I looked it up and I found out that beet pulp is actually supposed to be a byproduct of sugar beets themselves. So what I did was I investigated, alright, so when you have beet pulp, you have sugar beets, what do? Well, you process them, obviously. And then you get sugar as the main product, and beet pulp as the byproduct. And in, for example, Snettertons, when you use this beet pulp machine here, you put in sugar beets, the beet master, and then you only get beet pulp out. And I thought to myself, when I was modifying this map altogether, I thought that it would be, well, to be honest, pretty stupid to just to waste essentially a lot of sugar beets here when you could actually use them for something other than beet pulp, that is. So beet pulp is used to feed your pigs. That's the main idea. I'm just going to set down the time. Alright, I'm just going to, before we continue, I'm just going to check whether I have anything on the fields. I don't think I have. We can just use the special map here. I think it's 9. It's this growth. There should be something on one of my fields, but it seems that it is growing in a pretty strange way. So I'm not sure what I've actually done on this map. Let's take a look. No, there's nothing here. Strange. It says that something is growing. Alright, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause the video and then, yeah, I think I'm going to pause the video and then I'm going to get some stuff in order to show you how things work here. But essentially you put in sugar beets here and then you get sugar and sugar beets, beet pulp. I'm going to change that. There should be sort of an opening here in order to put down. You don't just drop your sugar beets on the ground. But yeah, and as you can see, when I was up here, you can see my sugar texture is sticking up, and it actually shouldn't do that because, as you can see, there's neither sugar nor sugar beets in this machine here, or beet pulp for that matter. So, let me just get that. Let's just check what instruments we have here, what tools we have. We have a truck, and we should also have a relatively large chipper. That's okay. We also have a tank tech. We have one for multi-purpose, so we can put in some water. Alright, but I'm going to cheat in some sugar beets into the map, and then I'll get back to you when we have done that. So see you in just a second. So I'm back, and as you can see here, I've added in some barley, some wheat, I've added in some potatoes, and I've added in some sugar beets, and we also have some beet pulp right now. We don't have any sugar. As you can see, there's also flour on the table, and those are not standard parts of neither Snettertons farm nor nor this map here, County Line. So one of the things I really like about this map, the County Line map, is that it's so big. As you probably have heard a couple of times, I'm really a stickler for these big maps. But let's start out by trying to find my truck. Now, oh, it's also perfectly added right now. I think I've been up here to sell some washed potatoes. If I'm driving a little bit ridiculous, it is simply because I haven't engaged my steering wheel. So let me see where I'm all the way up here. So we have to go. Oh, it's been so long since I played on this map. I can't really. The map should be. Yeah, let's just tag the chicken pen. It's been so long since I played on this map. I can't really remember where the stuff are. But let's see. I think we're going to go down this way here. All right. So the first thing I'm going to do, let's just go inside because it's a little more quiet. The first thing I'm going to do is to show you to get some water, just to make sure that I have water in both the potato washer and the yeah, it's a bit choppy here, unfortunately. Yeah, both have water in the potato washer and also water in the beet pulp machine, because you need water in the beet pulp machine in order for it to work. Just make sure we are on the right track. We are. So I think I'm going to pause the video right here and then get back to you when I am at my place. So see you in a bit. So we are back at the farm. Let's just get some beet pulp in here. Yeah, we don't want wheat, we want sugar beets. Fill it up. While we fill it up, you can also see that I have, if you have played on this map before, you will probably see that I have continued the fence post all the way around, all except there, and also over here. I think it looks, to a high degree, much nicer that we actually have a fence post all the way around, and not just at some places. Oh, this is the this is the modified trailer. Yeah, it can hold, I think it's 65 or 70,000 or something like that. 68. All right, so let's drive down to where we have the beet machine. Then I'm also going to find the water trailer and get some water. Let's just unhitch it here. See if I can find a water trailer somewhere. I think we saw it over here. If this is... I'm not sure this is the water trailer or the fuel trailer. But I guess we're going to find out. Then we're going to visit the cow farm, the cow pasture. Let's see if we can get some water in it. I think this over here should be the fuel trailer. Now let's go this way here. Sorry for messing up your field. Then I'm going to show you one little small feature that I've added. Also, one thing I got from Snettertons, Stevie's map. It's a small detail, but I think it's a nice detail actually. So obviously that is why I added it. Otherwise it would be silly to add it if I didn't find it to be neat. So as you can see, we now know that this is the County Line farm. And it has been here since 1975, so it's not such an old farm actually. But I've added this post here, and as you can see I've continued the fence post all the way around. I think up there were some fences and up here, but these fences weren't here as standard and these definitely weren't. Alright, so we're going to the cow pasture, and if I'm not mistaken that is... this way. Let's get some water. Because both the potato washer, I think the potato washer and the potato steamer, it's sort of good. It's almost self-explanatory. But perhaps it's not so self-explanatory that the beet pulp, the beet master, should receive some water as well. Oh, and while we're here at the cow pasture, let me show you some of the changes I made also here. Because I've also added some Stevie magic here as well. Let me show you. I'm not going to use it, but I'm just going to show you what it is. And please, like I said, I'm driving with my keyboard, so I'm really not driving that well. Let's just stop here for a second and let me show you what I've added. So as you can see, I've added the, yeah, still graphic glitch here. I've added the, what is that? Sun glare? Looks a bit strange. Oh no, it's the, yeah, just a second. Untag. Yeah, there we are. Alright, so we have the forage machine here. I've already put it in some silage. We need straw and we need grass in order to make it work. Let's just get the water. So just like in Stevie's map, County Line also has a free water supply. It's over here. So while it fills, I'm going to yep. Alright. So first of all, I've added the Milk Max version 2 to create homogenized milk from ordinary cow milk. Then we have, I think it's silage over here. It may be forage, I'm not sure. Let's check it out. No, it can't check it, but I think it's silage. Alright, so one of the things also I think is in Stevie's map. So in Stevie's map, he has of course placed all the cow things and all the cow pasture, the pig enclosure and the sheep, all that he has placed that well within the reach of the central farm. So you don't have to drive all the way around the map in order to get to the cow pasture, for example. But here we have quite a bit of, if you look at the map, let me just bring out the map. You can see here, the main farm is here. The pig enclosures down here, the cow pastures here, and the sheep pastures over here. So you can see it's spread out all over the map. Now I would like to centralize this, perhaps all around here somewhere and here. I'm not sure if that's possible. Of course it's possible, I can just change it, but let's say manageable instead. But for now, what I've done in order to alleviate this problem is that first of all, as you saw, I've added the food mixer out here. But then I have also added a food storage silo here. So here you can store all the things you need. Let me just get it's here. Storage amount. So this is the farm silo. Let's see. Yeah, you can no. I've only added so you can store straw in it because you use that a lot. But you can also store total mixed ration in this farm silo here. And I've done the same with the pig enclosure. I've added a straw as the exact same type of silo. So you put in the food here and then you can collect it again here, because usually you pull out some amount of food here for your cows. You know, you have, I don't know, some amount of cows, and then you pull out a trailer full of food from this machine here, and then you feed your cows, and then you have something in excess. You always have something in excess. And in Stevie's map, you can fairly quickly drive all the way back to the farm because it's just around the corner. But here you can't. So what you do instead is that when you have feeded your cows, then you drive over here and store the excess over here. You can also just take it from the total mixed ration machine here and then put it over here at the right away after it's finished. So these are the small modifications that I have added to the cow farm, the cow pasture. But essentially what I would like to do is to get it to some extent a little bit closer to the main farm. So perhaps somewhere around here and somewhere around here we could have the pig enclosure and the sheep enclosure. You can see the pig enclosure is not that big, so it does fit, and the cow enclosure is a bit larger, and it takes a lot of work to sort of rearrange the map. But for now, I think this is a fairly good solution to have this silo here that you can store, so you can do almost all your cow work at the same time. Alright? So let's take this trailer full of water back to the farm. And again, I'm going to pause the video right now, and then I'm going to show you how my mods work, or how the additional features of the mods they work. Obviously I haven't added any additional features for the potato washer and the potato steamer, so it's just sort of a courtesy. If you haven't played on Stevie's maps yet, you can see how it works. But other than that, there's nothing really new there. But see you back at the farm. Hi and welcome back. I just want to show you that I have done pretty much the same thing with the. See if I can remember how to open it. That was no, yeah, I have to keep it. So one of the problems I noticed with and one of the things that if I had to sort of distribute this map here for people around, so people can play on it, I think would be to change. There are some problems with these lamps here, that some of them disappears when nightfall comes, and yeah, there are some problems in here that needs to be fixed. Maybe I should use some different lamps altogether. I'm not sure about that, but yeah, so you know it. But nevertheless, I want to show you that I have done pretty much the same thing with this part of the map here as well. We have the pig food mixer. We actually have some pig food here, so I mixed some stuff. But we have steamed potato, mice, corn, and beet pulp. So I have put beet pulp in here. I think you also saw that I actually had some beet pulp in the silo back at the farm, but I don't have any steamed potatoes yet. I don't have any corn. I might have a little bit of corn, but nevertheless. Alright, and also we have the silo here. Now I haven't added any sort of a display or anything like that, so you sort of have to sort of just know that you have some stuff in here. I'm not sure if you can check it. Let's just see. The logo with the big cat on, where is it? I'm not sure. No, it's not in here because you can't. No, so I don't think that you can sort of see the amount of pig food that you have also in here, but well, you just sort of have to know, or you can get this tablet here, the Tech Farm tablet, farming tablet, and then you can see how much pig food and how much straw you have in the two silos that you have. So there are those options at least. But other than that, I haven't made any sort of significant changes to this part here. Other than, of course, I would like to move the pig farm as well. But yeah, let's go back to the main farm where we are ready. Oh, too much there. So let's just arrive at the there. Let's enter it and exit. So I have backed up the water supply to the beet machine, the beet master. Let's just empty some water if we can. I'm not sure if it's completely filled up. Let's check it. Where is the display? There it is. Let's see. Yeah, so that's probably why I can't put any water into it. It's completely filled up. Let's check if this machine here is also completely filled up with water. Otherwise we're going to use the water here. No. So let's put in some water instead here. And then we're going to fill up this machine with beets, sugar beets. And again, I would like to reiterate that if you think I'm driving lousy, it's simply because I have not... No, I am driving lousy nevertheless, but I'm driving even better now because... even worse, because I haven't added my steering wheel. Let me just show you one really cool feature, I think. This hose here. I think this is so cool. A really cool addition. And it's not actually in the editor, in the Giants editor. It's not really that hard to add to the system. But let's get some... made some sugar and some sugar beets. Let's just drop the trailer here and go get the other trailer. Now, I said I want to reiterate once again. I am going to put in some hole in the ground or something like that, where you actually, so you don't just dump the beets on the middle of the ground, because that's just stupid. So let's give it some sugar beets. There we go. Is it cool? What is it actually? I'm really not used to using the keyboard for doing things. Unload. As you can see, you're just dropping it on the ground, and that's ridiculous. At some point you should see that the amount of... Oh, wait a second. There we go. We could certainly have all of them. Let's just check how many we can... Oh, wrong machine. Check how many we can put into the machine. 56, so we can put one other. Load, let's do that. Now the machine might have started when we get back there, but I can't see why that should be a problem. So let's get some more sugar beets. Well, if I can drive straight, that is. Yes. Thank you very much. Muchas gracias, por favor. And no, I really don't speak Spanish fluently. I'm actually quite terrible at Spanish. But I can understand some of it. And I can speak a little bit. Very little bit. I think you could say, if I sort of had to make a fool out of myself, that hablo español muy malo. Y solo pequeño. Yeah, that's not even correct. Let's empty the rest out. There we go. Maybe it was a glitch in the graphics because the machine haven't ran all together. Alright, so let's put this back into the silo. Now it's filled up completely. Let's get some potatoes into the potato washer, and let's check if the potato washer has enough water. I'm just going to check sort of a complete run through on how to do stuff here. Now the basic usage of these tools is just the same as it is on Snettertons, so if you have played a lot of Stevie's maps, or well, similar maps where you can sort of do all kind of neat things like make beet pulp and all that stuff, use these machines, make seed, blah blah blah, so on so on. You can just completely forgo this section here of the video and go straight to the results, where I'm also going to show you how that I have made I have added the flour mill from Stevie's map to this map, but I have modified it a little bit, but I'm going to show you that in just a second. So let's get this truck here filled up, and made some steamed potatoes. Oh, not yet. Washed potatoes first. I've also added to this map so you can sell both steamed potatoes and washed potatoes. Obviously, I've made it so that if you sell washed potatoes, if you sell potatoes, you get a price. If you sell steamed potatoes, you get a little more. If you sell washed potatoes, you get a little more. And if you sell steamed potatoes, you get even more. So the more work you put into the machine, the more work you put into making these potatoes and all that things. The more work you put into things, the more money you're going to get. Now this is one of the things that I've sort of wondered a little bit about on Snettertons, is, for example, you can sell the grain at a certain price, for example wheat, but if you change it, if you put it into the flour mill and convert it to flour, you get less money for it, and I find that to be a bit strange. So while both the potato steamer and the Beatmaster is working, let me just show you the flour mill and the modifications I've made for it. Let's get some wheat on the truck. And obviously I hope you can sort of figure out by now that I have added both while it's filling up. Let's just go check that the potato washer has all the stuff it needs in order to start. Yeah, I hope that you can figure out by now that I have, of course, added the textures both for sugar. You saw the sugar texture, but also the flour texture too. So it has water to the map, and it has fuel, and it has potatoes. So at any given moment it should start. Let's just get there we were. Alright, let's go make some flour. So let me show you the flour mill that I have added also. I have placed it fairly close to the main farm. Now you could have said that you could say that I should have placed it further away, and well, there are some good arguments for that as well, but I wanted to place it relatively close to the farm. Because if you're driving around with big loads, and well, it is some distance away. But let's take a look at it. This is the area where we might add the cow pasture or the pig enclosure, something like that. But that must be for a future version of this map. Obviously, if I get to distribute this map to other people, you can see the flour mill right now. So if I get to distribute this map to other people, to the community, obviously I think you should create a new save game. So if you have a county line save game before this map, you should delete it, or just simply start a new county line map. Because I'm not sure that it would work. Let me just see if I drove past it. I think I did. Yeah, I did. Oh, it's because, yeah, one of the other problems with this is one of the reasons you should start a new map. Obviously, I'm going to remove or move this light post here as well. But you have to drive in here. Sorry. Let's just empty it out. And stop the truck. So one of the things I needed to say, sorry about that was a pretty big lag. So this is a water mill. So obviously I had to add some water to it. But since we don't have any sort of lakes or anything like that nearby, what I did was that I added some tubings down here, and then simply just make some holes in the ground, and then just added the water to the flour mill, and then we have the water mill driving like this, and I think it ends up somewhere around here with a tube, similar tube. It's down here somewhere. There it is. So this is just going to signify that we have, oh, this is certainly something I have to edit with the new map. This is a bug, but yeah. Let me just show you how the flour mill works. That is why we're here. So in Stevie's map, let me just increase the time so we can hear it. Go to work. Now you can see it works. Now, I've moved the sound for the mill itself. In Stevie's map, the sound is somewhere around here. And I'm not sure why he did that, but nevertheless, you put in the flour into the mill here, and then the flour mill takes the flour. And in Stevie's map, it goes to sort of some silo or something like that close here, and then from that silo further down to a little house where it makes you it makes you pallets, and those pallets are sort of on a transport. So if you just wait long enough, you're going to fill up a pallet. It's going to move, make another pallet, and going to move. And as you start the third pallet, I think it is, and move that. As you finish the third pallet, I think it is, or the second pallet, your last pallet is going to be sold. But here, you get the flour instead, so you get the flour out here. I haven't made a marker, maybe I should do that. But while it's running, let's just go back to, let's pause the time, and we can pick up the flour here. Let's do that. Just to show you the textures. But this is one of the modifications I've made from Stevie's. This is one of Stevie's mods, but I have just modified it a little bit. So let's get some flour, and I think this looks pretty much like flour, in my opinion. And let's also, when we are back at the farm, let's get some sugar to show you how the sugar textures. So these are textures that I have added. Sorry about that. There are some repeating, you can see there are repeating textures in there, but I think it's a bit hard. You need a very large texture in order to not have that. But I think for the most part, in my opinion, it looks pretty much like real flour. Let's just go through the trees. We can empty this into our silo and then pick up some sugar as well. I think perhaps we should let the sugar beet machine, the beet master, run in its entirety. Let's just add the flour. Now obviously you can sell the flour. Let me just show you how it looks. I'm not sure, but I think I added the icon from Stevie's map for flour. This should be the same. Just add the flour. As you can see, we get some flour. Nice. Let's just check the prices. Flour, we have lime. This should be flour, yes. So you can see, let me just find, if you sell wheat or barley, you can see the highest price you can get is 1,039 at Buckville Coop. And for that's the same for the wheat. So wheat and barley you can sell for that price. If you convert it into flour, you can get a price of 1,044 per 1,000 liters, of course. So 1.3 euro per liter, roughly, right? So you get a higher price if you work on your crops. As you can see here, let me just find the potatoes there. So we have a lot of potatoes. You can sell your potatoes for 586 per 1,000 liters at Moore Coop. If we go to washed potatoes, this icon here, you can sell them for 1,190, or that's the highest price. And if you go also all the way to steam them, you can sell them for 471. So you can see, the more work you put into your produce, the more money you get. Let me just see if I can find I think this is the sugar logo here. So as you can see, if you find the sugar beets, we have them there. This should be sugar beets. You can sell them for 306 and 307. If you convert it into sugar, you get a much higher price. At the Quaker, you get almost 2,000 liters, 2,000 euros for 1,000 liters. So a much higher price when you process your crops, and obviously getting sugar beets into sugar is a process. It's processing. Alright, so let's just see if I only got one. I'm not sure I can't remember which one of them is the sugar beets and which one of them is the sugar and which one is we can check it on the numbers, is the beet pulp. So we have 10,208 liters of sugar, so it was that pipe over there, and we have 4,073 liters of beet pulp. My idea is that when you process your sugar, the main component you should get from a sugar beet would obviously, I think, should be sugar. I think I ran the numbers, I looked it up somewhere and found that I think it is 70% or something like that of the sugar beet becomes sugar, and the rest becomes beet pulp. So beet pulp is actually a byproduct when you process your sugar beets. So we have this Beetmaster, and let's just increase the time and let it run its course. And while it's running, let's go over and look at the potato washer. I'm not going to spend that much time over here, because the way the washer works is just the same as with the with the one on Stevie's map, so there's nothing new here. I have not added compost yet, so that is why this pile up here doesn't grow. And also I think you can see there's a problem with the machine is simply too low down, or is angled in the wrong position, something like that. But when we have the washed potatoes over here, we're going to take the washed potatoes and put them into the potato steamer, and then we get steamed potatoes. You can use steamed potatoes to feed your your pigs. You can make pig food. I think I'm going to use the... I think I have that installed. Yeah. Oh, we're going to get some rain. Alright, so let's skip it. Let's skip the night. Like that. Now we can see. Let's see if we get... I don't think we get all of it processed. See, it's going to trying to keep up. I'm not sure. No, it's not running. So yeah, it is. Let's just see if it gets to run its course. No, it didn't. But we have 81,000 liters of sugar. So let's just there. So let's get the sugar at first. Again, this is one of the textures I have added. And again, I think this pretty much, it looks really like sugar, in my opinion. You can just increase the time a little bit to get some more light from the sun. Let's just get... Oh. There we go. And just try so if you can see. There might be some small problems with the texture. You can see it here. But I really want it to look a lot like sugar, because sugar is very reflective when you shine light on it. Whereas the sun, it should be sort of... It should be lit up some more, but so there is still some work for me to be done, but I have added it to the map. I think it looks really like sugar, but that's up to you to decide, obviously. So let's put it into the machine, into the silo. So now we have some sugar. And for the sake of argument, let's just do two things. Let's take some of the processed potatoes and put them... and put them into, let's do that right now. If I can avoid the tree, I could. Take some of the processed potatoes over here. Oh, it was set to auto, alright. Fair enough. Not sure how many we got, but not that many. It's not, this machine is not so quick. And I think that I should reduce the time also on the machine over here. It should take somewhat longer time to process the sugar beets, but let's put them into the steamer and then take the sugar beet, the beet pulp, and put it into there we go. So now the steamer is going to work. It's magic. Let's get some of the beet pulp out as well. So you can see this is the normal thing you get from Stevie's. Now, I might ask Stevie whether I can add the sugar to his Snettertons farm, because I'm actually working a bit on the Snettertons farm, so yeah, that would be nice if I could do that, in my opinion. But this is his own textures, the beet pulp here. This is the byproduct. We can use that to feed the pigs. So now I think, what I think and what was my idea about all of this is that you don't waste your sugar beets entirely on the pigs. You feed the pigs the byproduct, or at least you use the byproduct to make pig food. Just add that. Let me see if we have some corn. We have a little bit of maize. Alright, so and we have some straw. And let me see, we have silage, we have straw. Do we also have grass? Can't see it anywhere. I don't think we have grass anywhere in this silo here. I think I chose not to add it because with seasons, the idea with your cows is that you shouldn't be able to feed them grass in the winter. But I can show you how the pig food machine works. Well, no. Let's just say that that is going to be a subject for another video. But now at least you... oh yes, one thing we... No. You did see the... You did see the flour also. But... Before I end this video right here, I want to ask you, please tell me if in the comments, or yes, in the comments, or I might try to add a voting apparatus on the video from YouTube, so you can tell me if you have interest in this map. Do you want me to add this map to the community, or should it just be for me, you don't care and you just wanted to play, and it's okay that I play on it personally and really don't do anything else with it? Please tell me in the comments below, and also in the voting or in the comments, and also please tell me also if you would like me to do more videos on how to do things on these farms. Now obviously, how you're going to use the pig food mixer and the cow food mixer, I'm going to show you that quite extensively on Snettertons farm. So there's no real need for me to add this to this map here. But the basic thing I want to know is whether you think this modification of county line, whether it adds something to the map or you think it subtracts something from the map. And if you think it adds something to the map, do you want me to release it to the community? Obviously I have to get the consent from the creators of the map, but nevertheless, if you... Interesting. Nevertheless, if you want me to add... I think it was because it was filled up with the sugar. Nevertheless, if you want me to add this map, if you want me to release this map, please tell me in the comments below. And obviously, as you know, always likes and subscriptions. Please like the video if you like it. Please dislike it if you don't like it. And also, if you want to contribute to my channel in a non-monetized way, then please subscribe to my channel. Then you will also know whenever I do something new here on my channel. But hope you enjoyed yourself. Hope you found this video to be both entertaining and informative as well, because this is not a playthrough video, but it's more like a personal review of a map that I made myself. But if you want to have this map for yourself, then please let me know in the comments, and then I'll try to release it, to get it released. So bye bye, and hope to see you in one of my other videos.